Welcome this week to the Michelle Valentine Show. I am Michelle Valentine, and this is going to be a great show because upcoming I have a romance novelist, and she's going to be telling you what it's like to be a romance novelist and where does she get all these wonderful ideas from and all kinds of things, such as the Central Florida Romance Writers, a convention we had gone to recently. You'll see some footage of that at the end of the show, and it would be a great show. So anyone out there who's romantic or who wants to get more romance in their life, stay tuned, because this is going to be a great show to tell you that information. And those of you that maybe have always thought of writing a romance novel or just a romance book or something romantic, say just a romantic letter, this would be a great show to watch and learn some great tips. And I also want to make sure that you keep reading me in the Orlando Sentinel newspaper. Read me every Wednesday in the living section of the Orlando Sentinel, where I answer questions from readers who write me all kinds of letters of problems with their love life, everything you could possibly imagine. I get stacks of letters and tons of email, and so if I don't get a chance to write you, just bear in mind and just keep reading the paper, and you might be one of the letters that I respond to. So what we'll do is that right now, upcoming, stay tuned for more of the Michelle Valentine Show. And we have Helene Radjeski-Edwards, romance novelist, coming right up. Stay tuned.
If you're enjoying the Michelle Valentine Show, you will love her new travel TV show, Love, Eat, Travel. Follow Michelle Valentine as she travels the world, showcasing the most beautiful destinations, unique adventures, romantic things to do, delicious foods, and more. Visit www.loveeattravel.tv for more information about an upcoming TV show.
Hi, this is Michelle Valentine, and I would love if you followed me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Be sure to visit my website, michellevalentine.tv, for more information, read thousands of interesting blog posts, watch videos, enter sweepstakes, and more. Also, be sure to join my email list to receive my free weekly e-newsletter.
Are you wondering where all the quality singles are? Singles that are attractive, educated, and financially secure? Hello, I'm Michelle Valentine, and I've helped thousands of singles live a happier life, and I can help you too. Clients and members include millionaires, models, doctors, lawyers, and teachers. So call us for your complimentary consultation. Hi, welcome back to the Michelle Valentine Show. Well, I have romance novelist, and her name is Helene Radjeski-Edwards. Hello, Helene. How are you?
I'm fine, Michelle.
I am so excited to have you on the show because I met you a few months ago at the Central Florida Romance Writers Conference.
That's right.
And at that time, there was no mention to me that you are now going to be this romance novelist. Your book actually got picked up and you are under contract.
That's right.
So that is exciting news.
Oh,
that is
very.
exciting news as someone writing a book and a publisher going, yes, we want your book, we want to sell it and everything. And this is these are a couple of books. Here's from Glenda Sanders. And Glenda Sanders is another wonderful romance novelist. I'm sure you've seen these books all over the place in the stores. And look how thick these books are. It would take me 20 years to write this book. I don't know, but you know what is amazing about these books is that now I can be romantic and all these kind of things, but to come up with that much information, you must have a very creative mind, right?
Creative mind plus a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're newly married, so you probably got a lot of new ideas for your book from that.
Well, that's what my husband tells me, yes. He says that he stars in all of my love scenes. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so you are the past president of the Central Florida Romance Writers, and what's that organization about? Is that for someone who wants to be a writer, or is that only for published writers?
It's for people, for both actually, but we have a number of members who are aspiring writers who would like to learn the craft and the ins and outs of the business, and that's where we come in. We help.
The ins and outs. Now, what could be so bad about being a romance novelist?
Oh, well, you know, it's a very tough business. You have to learn how to make a submission to it, and an editor, you have to learn who wants what, so that you don't waste your time and your money sending something to somebody who doesn't want it. It's like any other craft. You have to learn the details.
Sure, sure. So what are the steps for someone, say you came up with this idea for a book? So you probably, did you know the name of it ahead of time of the book, or did you realize that later? Where do you get the title of a book from? This book here is Scandalous Suzanne. So where do you come up with these names for books?
Well, I have to tell you, usually the author writes and has an idea for the name of the book, and then the editor changes it. So it's part of your idea.
So tell me, so what was the name of your book that it sounds like it was changed?
No, mine wasn't.
Good.
Mine wasn't. It's Another Love.
Another Love.
Another Love. And it's going to come out in June of 2000.
Wonderful.
So I'm very, very excited.
Wonderful.
That's very fast. You were talking about how long does it take and what does it take? Usually it takes up to 2 years for a publisher to publish a book after they buy it.
So now say someone from our audience, they came up with an idea, say, oh, I want to be a romance novelist because I'm just romantic and I've always read these books my whole life and I think I could write one of these books. Now, does someone sit down and for 2 years basically, I guess they would have to have a job, their regular job, and do this at night when they possibly have the time, so maybe that's why it takes 2 years to write a book.
It doesn't always take 2 years.
At least 20, no. So say they want to write a book, and this is done in their own time. Now, do they come up with like a huge manuscript, this big thing like this, and they go, please, 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 I hope somebody buys it, and then you mail this off, let's say this is at least $5 in postage, mail this off to 50 publishers out there and hope that somebody bites on it. Is that the process?
Well, no, because if you send something like this to a publisher, he'll send it right back to you and say, sorry, we don't take that. What they want now is a synopsis in the first 3 chapters, and usually that's only after you send them a query, and they respond and say, yes, that idea sounds interesting, send us more.
So now for our audience members, a query is something, if that's the type of book that publishing house even accepts.
Right, correct.
So some publishing houses maybe only deal with, say, the smaller books, or they might deal with only historical novels. They have certain, you would not approach a publishing house who publishes, say, how-to romance type of books. You would have to approach a publishing house that's a romance novel type of house.
There's a fine line within each publishing house. Certain editors handle certain lines. Some editors will do historical, some editors will do contemporary. We have some that do just romantic comedy. Some lines do inspirational romance. So you have to know where it is that you're sending your query.
So now how does someone find this out? Or is that
well, that's why you join our organization. We get this information, and we have our newsletter and our monthly magazine. And you know, if you're an astute person, you sit down and you pick through it and you pick out what you need to know.
Because it's definitely not where you go, okay, you open up the yellow pages and go under, you know, romance publishers and then you work from there. It's not like that.
No.
Right? And people have no idea what goes into writing things and how much goes back and forth. But for instance, my column that I write every week, the columns that I write every week for the Atlanta Sentinel, I write it, then it goes to my editor, then it goes to another editor. It goes through at least 5 to 7 to 10 people sometimes before it even hits the paper. So, and of course, you know, the titles get changed and things get changed, and because they know what works for the public, and you have to go with that. It's fascinating of everyone writing these books.
Can you imagine the editing and the copyright that has to go into this?
I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine how many times this was probably written and re-edited and edited. Oh my goodness.
Well, I would have to say Glenda's a very experienced writer. I would bet she had less than many other writers.
She's got quite a few books out too, Glenda.
I think 46, 47.
So 40 of these books, ladies and gentlemen. 40. Let's see, that would take me about 3,000 years to write. No.
Do you know, ever since I joined Central Florida, I've known Glenda, and I have always admired her. She, you know, you talk about people with ideas and how to convey romance, and she is absolutely wonderful.
There's some great things. We're going to read a few excerpts from some of these books, and we're going to learn a little bit more information about Central Florida romance writers and our new romance novelists. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
If you're enjoying the Michelle Valentine show, you will love her new travel TV show, Love, Eat, Travel. Follow Michelle Valentine as she travels the world, showcasing the most beautiful destinations, unique adventures, romantic things to do, delicious foods, and more. Visit www.loveeattravel.tv for more information about an upcoming TV show.
Hi, this is Michelle Valentine, and I would love if you followed me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Be sure to visit my website, michellevalentine.tv, for more information, read thousands of interesting blog posts, watch videos, enter sweepstakes, and more. Also, be sure to join my email list to receive my free weekly e-newsletter.
Are you wondering where all the quality singles are? Singles that are attractive, educated, and financially secure? Hello, I'm Michelle Valentine, and I've helped thousands of singles live a happier life, and I can help you too. Clients and members include millionaires, models, doctors, lawyers, and teachers. So call us for your complimentary consultation.
Welcome back. We're over here discussing one of these romance novels here, and Helene is telling me, she's like, please don't make people think these books are all about sex. So they're not. Look at the cover of this. Here's a naked man, a naked woman. They're not. It's about romance.
Yeah, it's about relationships. All of these books, whether you get one like this, which is a sweet romance or Regency, or you get one like this, which is very heavily into sensuousness, are about relationships and how they grow and how they overcome problems. And sex is part of that, but not all of it.
So these books are more on the sensual side as opposed to the sex side.
Correct, correct. And there can be something very sensual in just a glance, or the way somebody touches somebody's hand.
There are some wonderful things in here. Suzanne's constant cuddling, all these kind of things. He held her in his arms, and this is great stuff. Okay, so those are people out there who are interested in becoming a romance writer. Is there a way that they can contact the Central Florida Romance Writers?
That's right. The national organization has a website. Oh. It's www.rwanational.com.
Well, that's
and
great.
They can connect to our local website from there.
So now, speaking of websites and all this internet and all this computer stuff, what are these e-books about?
Oh.
What is that about?
E-books are brand new. They came out about 3 years ago for college students. A way to, the reader is about the size of a normal book, and it's run on batteries, and you can download up to 10 textbooks into this, and instead of carrying a whole backpack full of books, you can have these books.
Amazing.
It's a marvelous new invention.
Amazing.
And what's happened now is fiction writers have gotten into this and said, this is a great thing for people on the move.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's going to change things quite a bit, I think.
Well, my picture of it is, when I moved like 14 boxes of books. If I have an e-book reader and I have all my books on CDs, I move my library in a shoebox.
Wow.
And I think that's a wonderful improvement.
So I think that possibly we should have you come on the show with some other ebook authors possibly and things, and maybe we'll do that. We'll talk a little bit more about what these ebooks are all about. That would be interesting. So someone could basically...
And we'll bring a reader with us so that you can see what it looks like.
Oh, wow. That would be fascinating. Okay, we'll be doing that soon. Okay, give us some more information. Now, oh, here we go. Here's the Writer's Report on Romance. And this is a national magazine. National, did we say? And here she is under First Sales. Helene Radjeski-Edwards announces the sale of her first historical romance, Another Love, to Starlight Writer Publications. That is incredible, incredible. I'm so happy for you. So, now you are a historical writer.
Correct.
Now, I would think that writing a historical romance novel would be very difficult because there's so much research that if you're writing, say, a book on, Gone with the Wind, you have to make sure that even down to the description of the clothing that they're wearing, and in those days, the women, normally wear their hair very long, and all these little things that you need to play.
No modern slang.
Right.
Yes.
The way that they would talk. Give us a couple of lines or excerpts from your book.
Let's see. Gosh. Oh, you had to do that to me. That's terrible. Lower than a snake's belly in a wagon rut.
Wow.
Yes. I mean, that's depressed.
My goodness. That's totally different language than what it is now. Say as opposed to Jackie Collins.
No.
I'm very fond of Jackie Collins' books. You're familiar with Jackie Collins?
Yes, of course.
Now, what would you consider Jackie Collins' style to be? She's definitely not a historical book.
Well, she's a novelist, and she writes glitzy novels. And that's not a put down. I think she does some great work, but it's very...
And it's another style. So how many styles are there really? So if someone wants to write a romance novel, they probably need to realize what direction that they want to go in. So it's not just finding two people who are trying to make this connection. There has to be the background to it.
Well, we have all kinds. So we have sweet romance, which usually there's no sex. There may be a hug or a kiss.
Oh, really? Okay. So this is a
Regency.
romance.
This is a Regency, which are considered sweet because that time frame of 1812.
Wow.
The 4 or 5 years surrounding that, was considered very light and playful era. And a lot of those books are light and playful. There's very few that have anything beyond a proposal.
Well, look at the title of this book. This is a game of chance, and the title on here says, "A lady gambles on winning a lord's love."
Right.
So nowadays, I mean, how many lords really are there that you meet in the street
Not
in
too
Central
many.
Florida?
Not too many.
And you could just tell by the way of the clothing the way the clothing looks and the way that he's holding her. Can we get a close-up on this? Take a look at the way this gentleman is. The way this gentleman is holding her. He's standing from behind her and he's holding her hand so pleasantly, and she's just gazing so pretty at him. And this is so different compared to something like this, or something with this in the bathtub scene. So that is very interesting. Now, what other styles of books are there as well?
Well, these three are historicals. So,
okay, let's take a look at one of these. Let's see.
Okay, there you go.
This is The Gambler's Daughter.
And this is out this month. This is Ruth's first attempt at a historical. She wrote contemporaries up till now, and it is very, very good. It's gotten very good reviews from. It was one of the nominees for best first historical.
Wow.
Yeah. So we kind of we're very pleased with it.
Well, this one is Gambler's Daughter. It says, Sabrina Murphy has spent most of her life trying to live down the reputation of her gambler father. But when wrongly accused of murder, she is forced into a desperate scheme in an attempt to dodge the authorities. And my goodness, so then comes along. But even Lord Edward must admit that the woman bears a striking resemblance to the heiress who disappeared when she was only a child. Ooh, that is heavy-duty stuff. This is really fun stuff. So So now, with women reading okay, wait, one thing. Where do they get these guys for these pictures from? Are these real guys, or are these just...
These are real guys. And if you ever saw them in person, it would just make you just...
wow, where do they find them from? Well, he must be a lord.
They are models.
Wow.
They are professional models.
So, do you think that for women who read these books, you know, it's not uncommon for men out there to... Actually, this was a comment from one of the camera guys before we went on the air. And the camera guy was like, he said, well, you know, women's books have a good-looking guy in the front with like 500 pages of all text, okay, nothing but text, but just one picture of a man, and she buys that book. But then with men, the men have like a 30-page book just filled with nothing but photos and no text. So what's going on here between the sexes? You know, women get just as flustered about men buying those type of magazines as opposed to actually men are kind of intimidated by these books, and not even because not only from this picture of this man on the front and these huge novels, but I know why, because I've heard it out there, but why do you think a man would get a little leery about women reading these books?
Well, I think men have difficulty with relationships in general. Okay, and that's why they have a problem with it. But you have to understand, you know, we just got the statistics back from a great review we did, and 6.4 million men read romances. That's an incredible number. You know, 34 million women read romances.
My goodness.
So men are reading romances, and I think they're reading them because they understand that it's about relationships. You know?
Absolutely. It's all about relationships, and I think that these enhance relationships. So, okay, stay tuned, and we'll be right back for more of the Michelle Valentine Show.
If you're enjoying the Michelle Valentine Show, you will love her new travel TV show, Love, Eat, Travel. Follow Michelle Valentine as she travels the world, showcasing the most beautiful destinations, unique adventures, romantic things to do, delicious foods, and more. Visit www.loveeattravel.tv for more information about an upcoming TV show.
Hi, this is Michelle Valentine, and I would love if you followed me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Be sure to visit my website, michellevalentine.tv, for more information, read thousands of interesting blog posts, watch videos, enter sweepstakes, and more. Also, be sure to join my email list to receive my free weekly e-newsletter.
Are you wondering where all the quality singles are? Singles that are attractive, educated, and financially secure? Hello, I'm Michelle Valentine, and I've helped thousands of singles live a happier life, and I can help you too. Clients and members include millionaires, models, doctors, lawyers, and teachers. So call us for your complimentary consultation.
Welcome back. It's time to close up, Helene. It's time to leave the show now. And everyone out there, make sure that you look out for Helene Radjeski-Edwards' new book. And I wish you so much success.
Thank you.
And you will just be so famous. And because your personality, people want to work with you, and which is a really good thing. And again, thanks for tuning in this week to the Michelle Valentine Show. And take a look at some of the footage that we're going to be showing right now on the latest Central Florida Romance Writers Conference. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for tuning in this week.
Actually, I've already started to write my novel. I wrote the first sentence. I really love you, girl. And then from there, I plan to build onto this thing, which is probably going to be like 3 pages. I mean, but 3 pages is a lot for me. So do you think that'll be like too thin for a novel? Should I make it 300 pages instead of 3 pages? Or?
Okay, as I was saying, and your name is Terry Lynn Wilhelm.
Correct.
And you were speaking?
Yeah, yes, I am. I'm one of the speakers. I'm speaking on conflict.
Conflict?
Wait.
We can talk a lot about that.
Yeah, we're conflicting all the time. But anyway, no, I have here one of your one of your cover titles. It's called The Reluctant Groom. The Reluctant Groom. Now, this is so true to life. It's not even funny because a lot of the guys are reluctant to to do the wedding thing. So
Joseph.
what? It's true. It is true.
If he knows he's marrying the right girl, why do you think
Why do
they
you
will
think
not
he's
be
reluctant? He's reluctant.
He is reluctant. Just this particular
He doesn't
man.
look reluctant to me. Does it look reluctant to you here? I don't think so. But anyway.
I personally enjoyed this thoroughly, and I've just had such a wonderful time meeting all the authors and getting to know how they go about writing their books, and it's been wonderful. What do you think, Joseph?
I'm starting to write my book already. I'm using the word thrust in the first sentence. She thrust into his room, he thrust into the bed, and they thrust together into a conversation.
Oh, okay.
It was a thrusting conversation that went for about 3 or thrust minutes. I'm sorry, I gotta rewrite that. But anyway,
Joseph, look at how thick these books are. Look, this one sheet of paper.
Well, one sheet. I'm just starting, girl. This is like the little introduction to the book.
So if you were to write a book, what would the title of it be?
Seriously?
Yes.
It would be Love in Venezuela by Joseph Izquierdo. No, I don't know what it would be. It'd probably be like, the Spanish Stallion. No. It would be, It would be Romance in the Stone. No, Romance in South America. Yeah, Romance in South America.
You would romance the entire South America for your research?
Well, I would have fun just doing the research.
There's a lot of research involved, right?
A lot of research, yeah, and there's South Americans here. So I could start here and just move all the way through Central and South America, and it would be fun.
So would your novel involve lots of females, or would it just involve one female?
No, I think that I had to stay true to the romance novel format, and just I guess stay with only one female, which is not what I want to do. But what the heck, we got to follow the plan here. It's a formula here that we have to do, and it's like A plus B equals C, except I'd like to have D, E, and F in there. But
I think I'm going to start writing my romance novel. See, I have a laptop computer, and I think I would get mine done a lot faster than yours.
Well, that's good for you, but what are you going to call yours?
Like, Hot Child in the City or something like that. Isn't it a song from like the 70s?
That's what I think it is. But
why did I say that? I don't know.
We have no imagination, folks. But we hope that you learned in this show. There was a lot of good pointers. I mean, a lot of writers that have been doing it for a long time, and it takes a long time to get one of these down.
It does not happen overnight. Stardom for these people does not happen overnight. So, but if you do have a dream of writing your own romance novel, by any means, start typing away, start writing away, because dreams can come true. Thanks for tuning in this week to the Michelle.
Dreams can come true. Dreams can come true. Anyway, thank you, folks, for being with us.
I'm Michelle Valentine.
And I'm Joseph Izquierdo. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.